ASEAN region is one of the most disaster-prone regions in the world. Hazards including earthquakes, floods, volcanic eruptions, and typhoons can cause extensive damage and put people's lives at risk. Standard operating procedures for school disaster preparedness aims to prepare the school and its community, including students, teachers, and administrators, for the hazards they face.
All schools have to have own SOP for their own school. So in time of emergency, they will follow their own SOP.
Standard operating procedures are developed by the School Disaster Management Committee. This committee is made up of representatives from the school community, including students, teachers, and parents. It is their role to identify hazards, mitigation measures, and develop SOPs.
Karena dengan melibatkan siswa dalam proses pembuatan SOP, tentunya itu akan memberikan perspektif yang komprehensif sehingga dapat dilaksanakan atau diimplementasikan oleh setiap warga sekolah.
Awalnya dari tim Satgas, kemudian disosialisasikan. Dalam sosialisasi itu semua guru dan karyawan akan memberikan masukan.
By developing, discussing, and customizing your school standard operating procedures, you can ensure that all administrators, staff, and students have a clear understanding of what to do in an emergency.
Everybody within the school environment should participate. It is very good if they can also start accessing a lot of data, information that is shared through the Asian Safe School Initiative, because there are a lot of knowledges from other regions with the similar disaster or similar hazard that they are facing or they potentially face, that can help them to make a contextualized and a good preparedness plan that fit their context.
มันสำคัญนะครับเพราะว่าหนึ่งเลยเนี่ยเป็นการป้องกันอุบัติเหตุนะครับที่จะเกิดกับเด็กๆสองคือป้องกันที่จะเกิดกับผู้ปกครองนะครับและสุดท้ายคือมันจะต้องเป็นวิถีชีวิตที่เขาจะต้องอยู่กับมันเมื่อวิธีการพวกนี้ถูกสอนลงไปเนี่ยเขาก็จะสามารถอยู่กับชีวิตวิถีของเขาเนี่ยได้อย่างปลอดภัย
School disaster preparedness is very important. First, because they really have to know the hazards affecting their education's continuity and their learning activity. Not only school as an institutions, but also school communities as well.
Standard operating procedures are built around the following basic emergency procedures: building evacuation, evacuation to a safe haven, assemble and shelter outside, shelter in place, and safe family reunification. Your school should discuss each of these procedures and decide which is most relevant to the hazards you face. Each procedure contains tasks and responsibilities for administrators, staff, and students. It is vital everyone knows and understands their responsibilities in the event of an emergency or hazard.
Kalau untuk komunikasi itu sendiri ya mengenai siap siaga bencana, kami sekolah mengadakan setahun sekali untuk sosialisasi yang melibatkan seluruh komponen sekolah, baik dari guru, kepala sekolah, staf sekolah, kemudian siswa, kemudian perwakilan dari komunitas siswa, kemudian dari lingkungan sekitar, tokoh masyarakat.
As a guide, responsibilities and tasks during emergency procedures are building evacuation. During a building evacuation, school administrators should activate standard emergency management system as needed, maintain communication with staff and students, reach out to emergency responders, notify and update parents or guardians when it is safe to do so, announce all clear when the emergency ends. During a building evacuation, school teachers should remind students of building evacuation rules. Take classroom go bag or bucket with student roll and bag with student comfort kits. Lead students to assemble and shelter outside. If and when conditions are safe, lead a reverse evacuation back to the classroom following the same rules. Students should understand the building evacuation rules. Do not talk so you can hear the teacher. Do not run so you don't get hurt. Do not push so no one else gets hurt. Do not go back so you stay safe. Evacuation to a safe haven. If the school environment is unsafe, your school should evacuate to a predetermined safe haven. To ensure safe evacuation to a safe haven, school administrators should prepare alternate safe assembly site and evacuation routes ahead of time, inform parents and guardians of this alternative site, take office evacuation supplies box, lead immediate evacuation to previously identified safe haven. During an evacuation to a safe haven, school staff should position one teacher at the head and one at the back of the group. Check safety of the route and include any students on the way in the group. Lead students to the safe haven and take the attendance roll. When the all clear is given by the incident commander, lead a reverse evacuation back to classrooms. If students need to be picked up, follow the safe family reunification procedures. Assemble and shelter outside. Assembling and sheltering outside protects students and staff and provides for their comfort until the all clear is given to return to class, or until everyone can be safely reunified with their families. When assembling and sheltering outside, administrators should activate incident command system with any functions needed. Involve adult volunteers and capable students. School staff should lead students to or meet them at designated assembly area. Have students sit quietly and take student attendance roll. Remind students about the safe family reunification. Keep students quietly occupied so that announcements can be heard clearly. If students need to be picked up, follow the safe family reunification procedures, or if the all clear is given, conduct a reverse evacuation back to class. School students should go to the designated assembly area for your class. Sit quietly with your class unless your teacher instructs you otherwise. Be prepared to help with water and food, shelter and sanitation as requested. Shelter in place. Sheltering in place protects students or staff when there are dangers outside of school. When planning for standard operating procedures for sheltering in place, school administrators should announce instructions to shelter in place for the particular threat that they are facing. Monitor and provide information updates and instruction. Announce all clear when the emergency has ended. School staff should close doors and windows as appropriate. Take student attendance roll. Use phones only for emergency communications. Create a private space for a makeshift toilet using a bucket or plastic bags. When sheltering in place, students should stay in your classroom and follow your teacher's instructions. Participate in quiet activities and help out. If you are outside of the classroom without an adult, or if you cannot make it to your shelter-in-place location safely, try to join another class and inform the teacher that you are there. Safe family reunification. Safe family reunification ensures students and families are safely reunited in case of emergency or disaster. Students under the age of 18 are only permitted to leave the school or the safe haven in the company of a parent or guardian or a pre-designated adult approved in advance. When planning your safe family reunification plan, administrators should ask parents or guardians to provide the school with updated lists of adult emergency contacts with permission to pick up student anytime. Ensure that in the event of emergency or disaster, students will only be released to custodial parent or adult on this list. Notify and update parents or guardians about any incident as soon as it is safe and possible to do so. School staff should make sure that both students and parents or guardians are familiar with student release procedures. Notify parents or guardians of safe haven location. Notify parents or guardians when and where it is safe to pick up their children. Keep a record of all student releases using a sign-out log or student family reunification form. Students should be patient and follow safe family reunification procedures. Do not leave with anyone except your parent or those adults approved in advance by your parent or guardian. When developing your school's standard operating procedures, it is vital to consider the hazards you are likely to face. By discussing, developing, and communicating your standard operating procedures, you can ensure that in the event of a hazard or emergency, your school, its administrators, staff, and students are prepared and know what to do.